Well, with just 2 weeks to go before the first day of school, more than 600 public school buildings aren't able to accommodate students with disabilities.
Yeah, this coupled with a possible bus strike could leave some of these students stranded, and that's leaving parents with little options. So we are joined by one of those parents, Yvonnia Espino, whose daughter Mia has cerebral palsy. She's joining us via Zoom. And then here in the studio is Maggie Moroff from the Advocates for Children of New York agency. So good morning to both of you. Thank you for being here to talk about this important topic. And Maggie, I want to begin with you here. Your agency releasing this report yesterday, which shows really the lack of accessibility for so many schools, and it was a bit surprising to see the results here.
Yeah, so 30 years after the ADA was brought into law, our schools are still remarkably inaccessible. We put out a report 5 years ago, and this is an update on that report showing that up to two-thirds of our schools are still either functionally or fully inaccessible. The city has made a commitment in recent years, and they've been doing work. We're calling on them to continue that and to commit for the next 5 years.
Have you been able to pinpoint which districts are the worst right now?
Yeah, we have an the report is kind of amazing, so I really encourage people to take a look at it. It is an interactive report online, and folks can zoom in and really take a look at the current state of accessibility and inaccessibility.
I think we have that map too that you're talking about. But do you know, can you tell us though, based on what you found specifically, which ones are the worst?
You know, it's more sort of a big picture view, right? So the last current, or the current 5-year capital plan is doing work to bring all districts up, and at the end of this plan, at the end of next year, a third of the city is going to be fully accessible. Not every single district is going to meet that benchmark, so it's really sort of, it's varied. 5 years ago when we did the report, there was actually one district that had no accessible schools.
Wow.
That is no longer going to be the case.
Right. So progress is happening, just not at the speed you would like to see it happening, right? So let's bring in Yvonnia right now. Your daughter used to attend a school that was partially accessible, right? Your daughter has cerebral palsy. So explain the challenges there and what you've seen kind of improve over the years, if at all, to help her get around.
Absolutely. So yeah, Mia was in a partially accessible school, which essentially just means that she's, it's equal yet less. She's able to access anything that's on that one accessible floor. She's able to access what's on that floor as opposed to her counterparts who can access other programs, other everything on different floors that they can access because they can maneuver the steps. Even though Mia's no longer in public school and accessibility where she is now is a thing of the past, she's still affected because her sister attends a partially accessible school. Mia can only access the first floor, therefore she's unable to attend family engagement events. So she's still affected, as many of us are.
So what do you want to say to the school districts out there that really, do you feel like your voices aren't being heard?
I think that we're taking small steps. I think we have to take bigger leaps. I think, 33 years since this act's been signed, I think the schools should have been like the first thing targeted, especially since that's where our children learn respect for all and equality and inclusion. So I just want to just send the message out about how important it is to include learners with disabilities. They should have equal access.
Absolutely.
They should have equal access.
Maggie, I want to talk about, we did reach out to the Department of Education to get a response from them. We're still waiting to hear back, right? But have you had conversations with them and about the process and what goes into making these schools more accessible and how you're targeting and which ones should get priority over others?
Yeah, so many conversations. And I will say that the failure now is really not the fault of this administration. This goes back 30 years, right, to prior administrations. And as I said, the last administration made a big commitment. We're looking for this one to make a bigger one. We are working very much in partnership with them and sort of trying to figure out, based on data and based on need, where school construction should be happening and renovation. The goal working with them is to get our schools over the next 5 years up to 50% full accessibility. That still leaves a whole lot that isn't, and I kind of want to paint the picture here.
Yeah.
With, at the end of this current capital plan, with a third of the schools fully accessible, that's going to leave 2/3 of them not, and almost 40% of them functionally or fully inaccessible.
Oh my God.
So yes, we are working with them, and yes, there's a long way to go. And yes, they've actually been very good partners in this, and we really want to hold them to that and get them there.
But all that being said, are you optimistic that what you are hoping, the perfect picture, or at least a better picture, is feasible?
Yes, it's going to take time, right? At the end of the next 5 years, if they commit the money that we're asking them to commit, we're still going to have halfway to go. So it is a long, long road, and we want to keep that going.
All right, well, we thank both of you for joining us this morning to talk about this important issue, and keep us posted on the progress being made, okay?
We will. Thank you
Say
so
hi
much
to-
for having us.
And say hi to Mia for us.
Yes.
Hope she's feeling better.
Thank you.